Hello and welcome everyone to this week's episode of the podcast. This week we are talking all about training, and in particular we're talking about classes that are worth traveling for. So if you guys are anything like me, I love doing a jewelry course. That's probably no surprise. I love training. It gives me this new energy. It develops my skills. I get to grow. It kind of expands, what I feel is possible in the world. And I also get to be creative. So every year, without fail, I go and do courses. And more recently, I've been doing more and more traveling to do courses further afield. And of course, now that we've opened a jewelry school in Brighton, we have lots of courses that are worth traveling for. So we're going to be sharing a bit about the concept of traveling to do jewelry courses and how that might look for you, but also some of the courses that we have in Brighton to kind of encourage and inspire you. So I have some great friends on the podcast today. I have the wonderful Anna Campbell, who's the community manager here at Jewellery Academy. You guys probably all know her already. So welcome, Anna. Lovely to have you.
Yes, this is such a great topic to talk about. I love traveling for learning, so yeah, excited.
Absolutely. And then I have the wonderful Sam, who is our digital marketing coordinator at Brighton. So she is based at the Brighton school and she is from Brighton. So she is our local resident expert of, everything Brighton. So Sam, thanks so much for coming on the podcast today.
I'm so excited to be on the podcast. It's actually the first way that I heard about Jewelers Academy, so it feels like a nice full circle for me.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, yeah. And are you from Brighton, Sam, or did I make that up? Have you just lived in Brighton for a while?
I've just lived here for a while.
Okay, gotcha. So you're like a new resident, not new, but like a second wave resident of Brighton. Yes.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Thanks, Dean.
Great. Alrighty. So maybe to start with, we can just talk a little bit about the idea of traveling to do courses, because I think it can feel a bit daunting. I think the first time I traveled to do a course, I did like a 10-day course, and it was about 8 hours away from where I lived. And so I was like, and it was a big investment in terms of the money and the time and staying in a hotel and all of that. And I was really excited, but also a bit like, gosh, I hope I like this. Otherwise, it's going to be tricky. And I absolutely loved every minute of it. I loved being away from home because I think what I enjoy about it is not having to think about the daily chores, like the dishes and walking the dog and all the things that you do every day. And I could really just focus on my making and then just relax and kind of sleep well and eat well and all those things. But Anna, I know that you've done some traveling for training as well. What have you done, or what have the experiences been like for you?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's part of that thing of being away from home. It's part of what is good about it, because you do have that opportunity to really invest your time and your attention and your focus, I think is what it is as well, isn't it? On learning something. And I think when we are able to do that, we probably get more from it. We have, because we can learn, and we know we learn from home. That's what Jewelers Academy is also about. And that's brilliant, and that's, so it's brilliant for that opportunity. But when we have the possibility of being able to just take some time out from our day-to-day life, from our job, whatever it might be, and really just focus on ourselves, I think that's a radical thing nowadays. And I don't think it should be, but I think it can be. And so it's kind of like permission if you need it to do that.
Yeah. And even the traveling time, like, especially if you're used to just having a really busy life, to just sit on a train or a plane for like a few hours on your own and be like, oh, I can do whatever I want. I can, you've got that space. So then when you arrive at a course, you're a bit more like, oh, okay, I'm focused. I'm in the zone. And I absolutely love it. And then in terms of Brighton specifically, Sam, what do you think people can expect if they've never been to Brighton before, or they don't know about it, in terms of like, because there's all those questions like, will there be somewhere to stay? How will I get around? What's the local area like? What do you think that someone traveling to Brighton can expect to see?
So I think Brighton's one of the best places in the UK to visit. It's so easy to get here. We're just an hour from London on the train, and there's two different routes. You can either come from London Bridge or from Victoria, and half an hour train from Gatwick. So super easy to get here. And then once you're here, it really has something for everyone. We're in this sort of lovely sandwich between the South Downs National Park and the sea. So if you love nature, there's so much here for you. If you love culture, there's amazing festivals coming up in May. We have artist open houses. We're exhibiting here at the Brighton studios. We've got 14 amazing artists joining us. And then at the same time, there's the Great Escape, which is a music festival, the Brighton Festival and Brighton Fringe. It's all going on. And then it's a great city as well for foodies. So many restaurants, independent cafes, shops. We've got the jewellery quarter in the lanes. You will have the best time, I think, if you visit. There's so much going on. And it's great for relaxing, but also if you're one of those people who likes an active holiday and to spend your evenings after your classes doing lots of things, there's loads.
Yeah, I totally agree. I love that about Brighton. I think it's so vibrant, but it also feels, to me, it feels so safe. Like I feel really comfortable walking around at night, in the daytime, like whenever. Everyone, like it's got a real kind of community vibe. And I also love that everything feels like it's in walking distance. So it's not too big. And then I just love the sea, that we're so lucky from our studios. It's like a 1 minute walk to the ocean, which is just the best. So sometimes I know we go down at lunchtime and just, look out and just, it's good as well when you've been looking at tiny details in something like jewelry to look into the distance and to sort of, open up the world again. So I feel like we go into our own little world, which is amazing that we get to kind of be in that flow, but then just to look up and be like, oh, now there's the ocean and the whole world and everything in the distance is very kind of settling and calming. So yeah, we're biased, but we love Brighton and we're excited to welcome people.
It's also really well known for being a very creative place with a lot of creatives, a lot of kind of independent shops and and boutiques and things like that. So there's also that vibe. You definitely feel it when you're there. There's that vibe of that creativity coming through it as well.
Absolutely. We had our open evening the other day and Anna came down from Edinburgh and a bunch of the Jewellers Academy crew, and we were walking through the lanes looking at the jewelry quarter, and it has its own energy for sure. It's you can be curious and see and discover things, and it's you won't be short of things to do, that's for sure. Brilliant. Okay, so let's have a chat about some of the courses that we have that are definitely worth traveling for. I think the biggest course that we have that lots of students are going to be traveling for is our Diploma in Silver Jewelry Summer Intensive. So this is coming up this summer. It starts on the 2nd of June and it runs for 7 weeks. And this is the year-long Diploma in Silver Jewelry that we run online, and we also run in person now, condensed into 7 intense weeks. And it really is intense. It's 5 days a week, 7 weeks in a row. So students doing this, we definitely recommend kind of taking it easy on the weekend, like gentle weekends. But we used to run this course in London and it was incredible. And we have people from all over the world come and do it. And I think if you're someone who likes to learn things intensely and quickly and just wants to get into full-time making, this is an amazing course for you. We actually only have 2 spots left this year, which is incredible because it's our first year. And we have students coming from America. We have students coming from Vietnam, from Dubai. So there's no excuse in terms of location, but it really suits someone who can get that amount of time off for whatever reason and is just ready to invest in their training and go all in and kind of hit the ground running. Anna, I know you used to know when we ran this course in London. Do you have any memories of it or any thoughts
I
about?
do. Do you know what? I was a mentor one year for the summer intensive, and I mentored for many of the diplomas, but the summer intensive, I remember it particularly. It is intensive, but I think what's lovely about it, I think that's what you just said, is that kind of compounding learning. So I know you also are doing it one day a week as well, starting in September, which is, put that out there too. But there's something about having a skill, and we've designed the diploma generally so that you kind of learn a skill and then you practice that while you're learning the next one, so you kind of compound your learning. And so being able to do that on this intensive course is amazing. And what I love about it is you do like basically Monday to Thursday you're learning, you're doing that, and then on the Friday you have a workbench day to kind of finish things off and just work on things, and that's a little bit of a lighter day hopefully. But it's that opportunity to kind of catch up on yourself a little bit. But I mean, it's amazing for all of our diploma students from the beginning to the end, like how much growth and how much learning there is. But to be able, like you said, if you've got the possibility of having that time and investing that time for yourself and being able to get there quicker, if you're one of those people who's like, yeah, just want to get going, I just want to get going quicker, that this is such a brilliant opportunity. I'm so glad we've got it.
Yes. And I think the students really bond together as well in this program. I mean, they do in all the diplomas, but because you're together every day and, you all have a different journey, a different story, different experiences to bring. Like, it's so lovely to see. And at the end, we kind of look at all your work together and, look at how far you've come. And there's this real kind of sense of achievement because you can achieve so much in that kind of space of time. I know, Sam, you're newer to the Jewellers Academy family, but are you excited about having the students in the studio? You've obviously been there over the past month or two since we've been open, like learning about how it's all working. What are your thoughts on the summer intensive?
Yeah, I absolutely can't wait to have people in for 7 solid weeks. And I think, like Anna was saying, the progress that you make from the start to the end. As a beginner, I've been looking at the samples and the projects that people have produced at the end of their diploma, and it's just mind-blowing to me. And I love how it's sort of broken down and you build step by step. And at the end, we'll just leave with a portfolio that we're so proud of.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, can't wait. And June is so soon. So if anyone is listening and thinking, oh my gosh, I need to do that this year, come and have a chat with us, or you can sign up. But we're always available for chats. We'll put the link in the show notes, or you can just head on to jewellersacademybrighton.com and get in touch. We are open 7 days a week. But that's a long course, and not everybody is able to get away. Like, I know at this stage in my life, I wouldn't be able to do that because I have a little person, but I can get childcare for a week. And that tends to be the longest that I can kind of do a course. And so the next courses we're going to talk about might be more suitable for someone in that sort of position. So these are the week-long intensives, and they run 5 days, Monday to Friday, usually. Sometimes we do them over a weekend as well to kind of mix it up with people who are working and can maybe get a couple of days off, but not a whole week. And there are 4 different 1-week intensives to choose from. There is a 1-week wax carving, which is great fun, where you learn all different types of wax, stone setting and wax, and we finish it up with some sand casting as well. So you learn how to cast your own pieces and also kind of finish them up. So that one is a lot of fun for those wax carvers out there, or people thinking, oh, I think I would really like the more organic kind of shapes and styles that you can get with wax and sand casting. So that one I think is going to be a popular one, which is a new one we are bringing onto the program for the summer. There is also a 1-week silver intensive, which is great for beginners. So we start at the very beginning, and by the end of the week, you will have done Lots of silver jewelry making, soldering, a little bit of stone setting as well. We actually have one of those running this week, and the students are doing amazingly well. And then we have 2 stone setting intensives, one for more beginners and one for more advanced. So all the details, I won't run through every single every single program because it will be too much. But I think the nice thing about these is, yeah, again, it's manageable for someone who can get away for a week. Or maybe even bring the family and leave them in Brighton for the week and be like, I'm
Yeah.
going to do my course. You guys go to the beach. So yeah, it's nice to have things that cater to different lifestyles and what people are able to manage. And again, Anna, you remember that we ran these in London. Did you ever teach on any of the week-long intensives, or what's your?
I think maybe on some of the metal clay ones. So hint, hint, if we can add one of those.
Yeah,
But
we
I
can.
think for me, I live in Scotland, which for those of you who don't know is probably about 350 miles away from Brighton. So it's not that close, generally. And I think what I love about these is what you were just talking about in terms of having a reason to travel for a few days. And I think that's one of the key things about all of these courses we're talking about is it's having that opportunity and to travel. And I flew down when I came down to Brighton for the open day, which was really exciting. And it's so easy to fly into Gatwick and then just get the train from there, which is direct from the terminal into Brighton. So it's so easy for that. And also, if you are somewhere in Europe, a lot of the cheaper airlines will fly into Gatwick, which is not always the case with some airports as well. So you may find it's a lot more affordable than you think to travel. It's definitely worth looking, because these courses, you're attracting these amazing tutors to come to Brighton, and these courses are so great. It's a no-brainer, I think.
Yes. Yeah. A good excuse to travel. You have to do it for your business, for your development. Yes, absolutely. And Sam, we've got the silver intensives in this week. How are you finding it in the studio, having, being around and kind of seeing them on their journey?
Oh, Jess, I've had such a lovely morning chatting to them all. And I think some people might be a little apprehensive about coming to a course on their own. And what we've really seen with this group is that all our team is so welcoming, but also everyone on the course is really lovely. They've been going out for dinner in the evening, really getting to know each other and building up their community of fellow jewelers. So it's just been great.
Oh, I love that. I love that they're going for dinner. How cute is that? But it's funny, isn't it? Because when you do a course with a group, you do really bond, especially in small groups, because all of our courses are maximum 8 people. And I think you get to know each other, and you have obviously similar interests because you're all there doing creative jewelry making. So that's always lovely. And I think a lot of them stay in touch, WhatsApp groups and whatever after the program. So it's a great kind of wealth of knowledge to have that little networking too. And like you said, the team there are lovely and welcoming. So if anyone has
Amazing team.
we're here for any meltdowns, should there be any. Sometimes it's an intensive, there's a meltdown, and it's okay. We got you. So yes. And then that brings us on, and you mentioned this, Anna, about the tutors. And we've got a lot of classes worth traveling for, so just buckle up for them all. We're just doing a whistle stop. But this year, very excitingly, we have 2 incredible masterclasses coming to Brighton. These are both advanced stone setting courses. So they are for people who've perhaps done our diplomas or done quite a lot of jewelry making in the past and done some stone setting and really looking to, up their skills and do a little bit of training. They're both 3 days long each. They're both in October. So if you are traveling from further afield, you might come and do both of them. The first one is with the incredible April Dace, who teaches our online masterclass as well. And it is very similar content to the online masterclass. It is the tiara wedding bands. So this is a wedding band that has 5 little claw settings, a pair and a few rounds on the shoulders. And it is just an incredible project. It's really pushes your skills in soldering, in stone setting, but also allows you to achieve a lot more in terms of your bespoke designs. If you're running a fine jewelry business or a bespoke jewelry business, this kind of course could be incredible for you. I know that I'm going to be taking them for sure. That's one of the reasons why I put them on, because I was like, I want to learn these things in person with these people. So I think these are going to be very popular. So April Dace is the first one. And the second one is the incredible Scott McIntyre, who is a master stone setter. I know lots of you guys have really enjoyed listening to him on the podcast, but also have enjoyed going to his online courses. So we now have an in-person course together. 3 days, we're going to make a halo ring from start to finish. So we're going to make the whole ring. And we're going to do parve setting around the edge. So a halo, for anyone who doesn't know, has like a big stone in the middle, lots of little stones around the edge. It's a very classic kind of engagement style or cocktail ring. But the great thing is not only making the ring, but just all the skills that are included in that. So we've got a big floor setting in the middle. Scott has a really interesting way of doing his floor settings for his halos, parve setting around the outside, and then constructing the actual ring band. So another kind of incredible one for the more advanced kind of end of the students that we have in our community. So we'll make sure we put a link in the show notes to those to go and check them out. And if you're joining both of them, there is a special offer as a kind of bundle too. So yeah. And if you come, we'll get to hang out, which will be a lot of fun. So we've got a little bit of time till that one. It's not till October. So yeah.
Yeah, but those spaces will go. I know of a couple of people who already are thinking of going on this one. So we'll hurry them along. They are amazing tutors. And I think that's another thing that's amazing about Brighton. And, this is the courses for now, but there's more that's going to come that are going to be brilliant. And we've got this amazing state of the art studio with everything there. And so, yeah, gonna keep attracting these brilliant tutors.
Yes, all the tools. We have all the tools, and we keep buying more. We keep buying more. But that's the great thing about a jewelry school is you can keep buying tools. So it helps, fuel our tool addiction. But I think what's nice for the students as well, and I've been noticing this when people come, is you can try tools out that you might have been thinking of getting and then decide, like, do I actually want this? Do I need this? Or am I, or not? And I think that's quite nice when you're in the classes. I definitely do that in courses that I go to. I love exploring other jewelers and other tutors' tools and thinking, oh, is this a better version of doing it? Or actually, am I happy with the way that I'm already doing it? So much learning that happens in those environments. And I suppose that also brings us on to something that I love about the in-person learning when it's possible. No, it's not possible for everyone. Is this like osmosis effect that you get of just having jewelers together? The conversations that you have, let me try on your optimisers, they look different to mine. These kind of things that you just can't create in any other way. So as our community is growing, it's really lovely to kind of see everyone learning from each other, and the same with these kind of more intensive versions of the courses. So yes, lots to happen. Sam, what are your thoughts on the masterclasses? I guess it's like a whole new world for you, but I'm sure you're excited to kind of watch them coming up.
Yeah, and I think as a beginner, it's so nice to see something so aspirational. Like, you can see there's a long journey to get there, but it's really inspiring to see the sort of pinnacle of what these amazing jewelers are creating.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's nice to see that everyone can get there if they want to. It's not. I was speaking to someone the other day. I can't remember what the topic was about, but they were like, "Oh, you're so talented. You're so talented." And they were like, "No, I've just done this every day for 10 years." And it's like, oh, okay. Yeah. And this idea that like there's just some people are just talented. And I don't really believe that. I know we have some natural tendencies, but it's just putting the hours in, just putting the time in, just putting the practice in. And, for me, I can sit at home and but there's a limit to how long I will do it for, because I will get distracted. I will walk the dog, I will go to the beach, I will, go on the computer. And that's good, because life shouldn't be only jewelry making. Can't believe I just said that, but I think that's true. But when I go to a course, it's only jewelry making. And that, I love that, because I don't have to be disciplined, because the environment creates a structure for me. So I just do it. And then I'm really happy with, the results that come out of that more intense learning. So yes. Brilliant. Okay, so we talked about week-long intensive, summer intensive. We talked about masterclasses. The other thing that's been happening a lot, which I love, is that people have just been getting in touch and saying, I can come for these 3 days, random days, and I want to learn these techniques. What can you do? So we're so lucky that we have a private tuition studio, which is a whole studio with 3 benches in, 3 of everything in. So enough for you, enough for the tutor, and potentially another person. And it's a beautiful private tuition studio, I might say as well. And this is available every day, 7 days a week. And we have an incredible team of tutors in Brighton as well. So pretty much anything that you want to learn, we can put it together for you. And the nice thing about private tuition is you tend to learn a bit quicker. So as well as doing the day classes, which are brilliant, you can generally get done twice as much in a one-to-one day as you can in a group class in one day. So they are great for those of you that, just have like, oh, I've just got this random bit of time where I can come for whatever reason, fitting around other commitments. We can always put a package together for you. So we've been seeing that a lot, haven't we, Sam? People sort of just knowing what they want and just wanting to kind of come and just get their head down and get that piece done. Absolutely. Yeah. And Anna, you did private tuition, didn't you, at London? I'm sure you must have done something.
Yes, I did.
On it.
Yeah, I think what's lovely about it is that kind of almost that pick and mix. I mean, we create these amazing courses and of techniques that work together, and and that things that you can learn. But if you have some skills, or even if you don't, even if you're a beginner, but there are certain things you want to learn and want to put together, there will be a way of doing it. Probably, we can look at it and just say, okay, we could, we can do this in a certain amount of time. And it is really lovely to work one-to-one, because we have that opportunity as a tutor to go with the pace of the student. And we know we have quite small classes anyway in Brighton, so we don't have like whole loads and loads of students. But when it's one-to-one, you have that possibility of that pacing, of giving people a little more time to do something if they need it, or if they're past that, it's like, okay, let's move on, let's just do the next thing. So it's that flexibility of your date for one thing, but also of the techniques that you really want to learn. It's that kind of laser focus, I think, is a lovely thing to be able to do.
Yeah, I think it's interesting as well, like who likes to do private tuition. You're right, it's a real mixture. Sometimes it's people at the early stage of their journey and they just really want to feel like they've got the full attention of the tutor, which I can understand, like especially if you're nervous or you just know that you like learning one-to-one. Some people do respond better in that environment. There's less going on and it's just all about them and the tutor. But also I found that I did in my journey more one-to-ones the more, I wouldn't say advanced, but the more I progressed, because I knew more what I wanted and it didn't necessarily fit into a class. I mean, at Brighton, we have so many classes that maybe it would have fit into a class, but it was like, oh, I've seen this piece and I want to learn to make it in my own style. And I could show the tutor and say, like, is there something we can work with? Like how, I can ask any question in a one-to-one. I mean, you can ask any question in a group class as well, but sometimes you can feel a bit like, oh, the class is about this, so I should stick to questions about that. So I think for those of you that are perhaps further along or maybe running your own jewelry business and thinking, if only I was a bit better at this specific technique, one-to-one is a great way to kind of just brush up on your skills and get a tutor to watch what you're doing. And what I love about what the tutors are doing in the school is they're correcting people nicely in a friendly way. as they go around and saying, oh, you're doing it like this, but if you could make this small adjustment with your hands or with your posture or whatever, it would make a huge difference. And it's those little things that are really hard to, you know, they're not tangible, but when you see them, you're like, oh, I'm so glad that I got that support in that way. So lots of different options. We're basically trying to combat any excuse you could have for not coming to Brighton, because we want you guys to come, because you're our community and we love you guys.
Yeah, and I was just thinking about how, why not come with if you're engaged, why not come with your partner for a weekend and come and make wedding rings and have a weekend in Brighton? There's so much. There's so many different options.
So many things, and it's only going to get bigger. The last one that we were going to chat about, because we could talk about classes in Brighton all day for sure,
Yes.
is a little bit different. It's more on the business side of things. So we know, especially those of you who have been in the Jewellery Business Academy or have done some of our business courses or perhaps bought the book, it's lovely to have community around your business and support around how to grow it and how to develop it and how to keep the momentum going. So we have a retreat coming up later this year called the Jewelers Visibility Retreat. We are just putting it together at the moment, so it's still forming, but we're very excited about it. Anna, do you want to share a little bit about this and what our ideas are at the moment? Just ahead, it's like a sneak preview ahead of, we will be sharing more detail about it, I'm sure, as we've got it all thrashed out.
Yeah, I thought, we do have business courses. Obviously, we're talking a lot of making courses here, but we do have business courses too. And Brighton, again, it's that brilliant opportunity to do a little business retreat. And it's the same thing. It's that taking that time away from day-to-day life and really getting into focusing on your business, on your marketing, on your visibility, and particularly around that side of business is what we're looking at working on. So I'm really excited. I'll be there. so it's part of something that I just love love teaching about anyway. So yeah, this is going to be so good.
Yes, I think it will be a mixture of training, kind of workshops, but also like exercises to bond and to network with other jewelers, and just to hang out in Brighton together by the beach as well, and just enjoy ourselves. Because I think sometimes when you relax, and when you are in community with others doing a similar thing, it's almost like you can't structure it, you can't plan it, but these ideas just come. So it'll be a mixture of kind of structured training and kind of teaching, but also just bringing like-minded jewelers, growing their businesses together, and letting the magic happen as well. So yeah, me and Anna are kind of working on planning that at the moment. Once we have the full details, we will let you know. So much happening, so exciting. If you do come and join us for any of the courses, make sure you come and share it on social media. I'd love to see kind of your experiences. Do come and say hi if you see me in the studios. I'd love to meet you as well. And yeah, thank you so much, Anna and Sam, for coming and sharing a little bit about these classes worth traveling for. Any final comments before we wrap up for the episode?
I'll start. So I think it's such a great opportunity. We did have a studios in London, but I think in some ways Brighton it's an upgrade. It's a better, and in a lot of ways it's better to travel to as well, and to stay. London in itself is, with a capital city, it's an expensive place. So it's a brilliant opportunity to really just focus on yourself, focus on your creativity and your learning, and you deserve it.
Yeah, love that. Yeah, couldn't have said it better. Sam, any final thoughts?
I just can't wait to welcome everyone to the studio, and want to sort of reiterate that if you have any questions about Brighton or any of the courses, you can get in touch. We'd love to talk about it. So email or give our office a ring. We're here for any questions or just for a chat. Yeah, can't wait to meet you all.
Yes, awesome. And for anyone who is super far away and thinking it's just too far for me, We're going to be here for a while, so maybe one day you could plan a trip. bring whoever you need to bring. Even if it's next year, the year after. There's definitely places on my list that I want to go to do jewelry training that are across the world, and I'm not going this year, but I'll go one day. So yeah, we're just excited to meet you guys if and when it is possible for you. So we'll make sure we put a link to all the classes we mentioned in the show notes. But as Sam said, if you're listening and just feel inspired but have no idea which one to do, you can give us a call, you can come on a discovery call, or you can drop us an email, and we will help kind of figure out your personal circumstances and what's going to work best for you. We can also help with, helping suggest local hotels and anything like that, so that it's a really smooth experience for you to come. And yeah, we're all very excited. So thanks again, guys, for coming on the podcast today. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We'll be back next week with another episode. Until then, have a lovely rest of your week, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.